Hello. So, ever wondered how scholars make sense of thousands of fairy tales from all over the world? How do you compare a story about a clever fox in Finland to one about a tricky jackal in India or a talking cat in Germany? It turns out there's a system for that, and today we're diving into how a Finnish folklorist gave the world a way to sort, compare, and study the wild, strange universe of folk stories. So let's rewind to the late 19th century. At the time, folk tales were being collected in droves by scholars, anthropologists, and fans of oral tradition. People like Svend Grundtvig in Denmark, and of course the Brothers Grimm in Germany, had assembled massive collections. But there was a problem: chaos. You might have 15 versions of the same basic story. Say a poor boy who climbs a magical tree, just as a random example, but no way to catalog or compare them. Scholars needed structure. Enter Antti Arne. With the support of his mentor, Karl Krohn, Arne set out to bring order to this storytelling madness. Drawing on those earlier collections, he created something new: a classification system that assigned each story a number, a title, and a short summary. So think of it like a Dewey Decimal System used for libraries, but for fairy tales. This became known as the Arne Thompson classification system, later expanded by American folklorist Stith Thompson. It gave scholars a common language, with each tale type given a unique ID number. An example of a tale number in the Arne Thompson Uther or ATU classification system is ATU 510, which is assigned to the persecuted heroine tale type, commonly known as Cinderella. The number categorizes stories with similar plot structures, like the persecution of a young woman who eventually finds happiness. But this wasn't just about organization. The system unlocked a new way to study motifs, those recurring themes and story elements like magical helpers, talking animals, or quests for golden or divine objects. With numerical indexing, you could now trace how a single motif showed up across continents, centuries, and cultures. It was, in a way, sort of revolutionary if you actually think about it. So Arne's work transformed folklore studies from scattered collecting into systematic research. It helps scholars see the connections, the evolutions, and the cultural fingerprints within each tale, or maybe just the sheer coincidences. And that's why even today, if you're studying folk tales anywhere in the world, chances are you're still working with numbers that Arnie gave them. And that's it for this episode of Critical Weight Theory. If you enjoyed, you know, the episode, go ahead and leave a comment. You could subscribe, especially if you're on YouTube. You could give us a rating, a review, and maybe even a story of your own. Who knows, someday it might get a number as well. All right, have a good one.